how you define breakout. And depending on your perception of breakout, you can view these four guys very differently and how they, kind of come into 2024. So based off of my definition, which was somebody entering a new tier across like league wide, establishing themselves as like, hey, I was here, but really I'm right here and I'm letting you know about it right now. It's Taj Spears. The chat is all over it. And I went and just like the craziest thing to me, Jack, about Taj Spears having a breakout season is that he doesn't even really need to do anything differently than he did as a rookie. Volume alone is going to propel Taj Spears to a breakout season. And I don't think you can say that about the other three guys on the list. Last year, as a rookie, Taj Spears averaged 4.53 yards per carry. He had the ability to evade open tacklers. He often made something out of nothing as both a runner and a receiver. And so this is from a column I wrote on A to Z Sports, because if you take his 4.53, let me actually just establish this first. He had even 100 carries as a rookie, 4.53 yards a carry. That's 453 yards. Derrick Henry had 280 carries, led the NFL in rushing attempts last year. Even with Tajay getting 100 carries, Derrick Henry still led the NFL. And coming into this season, the assumption right now is that Taj Spears and Tony Pollard are going to be running back 1A, 1B, interchangeable, as Brian Callahan likes to say right now, and they view them very even. So I just went through and said, okay, let's take those 380 carries between Spears and Henry from last season. Let's split them straight down the middle. Taj Spears takes half, Tony Pollard takes half. That's 190 apiece. Well, what do we get? We get 860 rushing yards. And if you consider a slight uptick in red zone touches for Taj Spears, you would probably get around 5 rushing touchdowns. And then I go on to add that because Tony Pollard is a viable pass-catching option, gives Spears about the same production as a receiver that he had as a rookie, which was around 50 receptions and 400 receiving yards. That would give him close to 1,300 all-purpose yards as a second-year running back. Only 10 NFL running backs had 1,300 all-purpose yards in 2023. Tony Pollard and Derrick Henry were 2 of the 10. So you're talking about Taj Spears doing exactly what he did as a rookie running back with just more volume and doubling his touches because Derrick Henry's no longer in this offense. And you could realistically have him finish top 10 in running back production and all-purpose yards. I think we are going to see a season from Taj Spears where he goes from that fun backup in Tennessee where if Derrick Henry's hurt, you need to slide him into your fantasy football lineup because he might put up 15 points, to being a guy that, people are going to start taking note of in box scores each and every week. And I don't even put it past him to really break out and go a little bit more than 4.53 yards per carry and start having some explosive runs. Like, this is the year of Taj Spears in the offense for me, and that's my pick for breakout candidate.
All right. DeMarco says if Spears gets close to or over 1,000 yards, then it's considered a breakout. See, that's where I disagree. And while I'm very excited about Taj Spears in this offense next season, and I do believe that the breakout potential is absolutely there, he did have 838 rushing and receiving yards last year. That's a solid bar to set for a guy who's playing in kind of a limited role. And not having, the bell cow label, which is, I don't think it's a label that fits Taj Spears, for the record. I just wonder if that makes it a little bit more difficult on him to kind of go above and beyond with Tony Pollard also there. But so that's my concern.
I would say this because, number one, I think Taj Spears showed me last year that he doesn't have a problem being the guy. There was a couple of games that Derrick was out for or hurt during, or games that Derrick just didn't come into the game because the Titans were playing from behind and Tajay took a lion's share of the workload. And I think he can be a 3-down back. I think he can be, your bell cow. And he's not the same bell cow as Derrick Henry in the sense that you're going to pound it up the middle like over and over and over again. But I think the way that the NFL running back plays is kind of shifting. Like you're starting to see guys like Devon Achane and like Raheem Mostert and these faster backs. Even Christian McCaffrey is like the best back in the league, is not your big, bruising, physical running back. He finds his holes and is versatile in the passing game. I think Tajay is that. But let's also not forget that the best football of Tony Pollard's career also came in a season where he was splitting carries. The big 2022 season, Tony Pollard was a 1,000-yard rusher for the first time in his career. He made the Pro Bowl with Dallas. He averaged 5.2 yards per attempt, and everybody said, hey, that was Tony Pollard's breakout season. How many carries did he have? 193. That's the exact kind of mark that we're talking about here if you're splitting 380.
My breakout candidate is not Taj Spears. I'm kind of going along the fantasy route a little bit, but I think that Josh Whyle is a guy that's going to really break out for the Titans in 2024. Kind of an under the radar pick here because a lot of people, I believe, are hoping that Chig breaks out, but Chig's had time and opportunity and hadn't really pulled away. Josh Whyle, he's not going to have the same volume, right? But I think impact by volume is where Whyle can really stand out. Like, he's not going to catch 50 balls. But if Josh Whyle catches 25 and 6 or 7 of them are touchdowns, that's a breakout season for me. And I think it's very possible that he can do that. He's got a good rapport on and off the field with Will Levis. Caught 9 balls for 94 yards and a score last year, but only played on 23% of the offensive snaps. And here we have a quote from Nick Holtz said he's had a great offseason. I'll start with that. Josh has really good ball skills for a big guy. So that kind of target, especially in the red zone and on third down and things like that, he's more of a matchup problem than he's probably given credit for. So we'd love to get him in some of those one-on-one situations because he has so much height and he's really good ball skills. Both of those things are huge. And you're talking about a Titans offense. Look, Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins, you know, they're going to get blanketed on the outside. So who's that guy that can separate in the red zone and give you an option? Well, I think that Josh Whyle's that guy. I think that he can be a security blanket for Will Levis. Played just 23% of the snaps on offense last year. I think that there's a chance that his snap count doubles in 2024. We're already hearing how much this coaching staff likes him.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a really unique skill set, and his role in the red zone is going to be one that the Titans should take advantage of. So Josh Whyle's a guy. He's not going to put up 800 yards. He's not going to put up 50 catches, but I think he's going to be, you know, second or third on this team in receiving touchdowns if his snap production does double like I think it will.